Okay, I got 5:30 on my clock, so we'll go ahead and get the meeting call to order for the REC meeting for October 2nd. Let's go roll call of officers. We'll just start down at the left end of the table.
Mike Hanna, present.
Dave Craven's present.
Steve Denny, present.
Lisa Floyd, present.
Okay, we do have a quorum to for the meeting. Approval of the minutes from the September meeting. Do we have any questions or corrections that need to be made for the minutes? Has everybody had a chance to look over them? Okay, if there's no questions or concerns, then I need a motion to approve September minutes.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The September minutes have been approved. Old business, preserving Main Street grant program.
Mr. Chair, can I go first? That's sort of wrong. We intended to just quickly go over, not take action on the spending plan, but just some prep for it
Okay.
for the next meeting.
So you want to talk about the TIF budget then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be real quick, and thanks for Denise for letting me go first. We got soccer. I gotta get the new pal for the soccer game.
Oh, yeah.
So we have 3 sheets here, and Stephanie, I'm sure, is pulling it up. What I wanted to do is, for 2026, we changed some things from the last time we talked, because as Denise is gonna talk about, we did not get the Preserving Indiana, so those monies were taken out, and then I moved, the depot parking lot, the 750 for the possible purchase of grounds over to that. The fund, the next sheet shows the 2 sheets show the fund report and so how much we've spent already. Part of one of the problems, if you go to the next one, Stephanie. One of the problems that we have in having accurate accounting is that for the business park trail, that is 1.3 million in engineering. It comes out of the TIF fund, but then NDOT reimburses us 80,000. So it looks like we're spending a lot of money under engineering. And also, if you look under projects, most of it's been consolidated under engineering. That's because it doesn't show the reimbursement. If you look at the fund report, well, all 3 documents, I can tell you this, looking at what we've been reimbursed so far and what we have yet to be reimbursed, we're right on track to finish 25 with the predicted TIF funding year balance, which will be about anywhere between 1.2 and 1.3, and we predicted 1.3. So anyway, just a primer before we go into a formal spending plan that'll be created by Reedy, but this is the information that they'll be using. So if you look under the yellow back to this sheet, if there's anything that you think needs to be added, thoughts, comments, then that will help us with the spending.
Last time I asked about the infrastructure that the state was going to do on Highway 67. That's pushed off, what, a couple of years?
Yeah, so that's bumped out. I wouldn't look past 2026.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if we have that construction. We're using mostly impact fees for for State Road 67, our input for that. The other thing that's happened too, that will come into factor, and the dust is settling on it yet, but the McCarty drain has been way backed up because they have to de-water, and then we ran into some engineering problems with getting an engineer to sign off on the plans because CSX has to approve it. So it looks like we haven't really started any construction. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll start some construction, and the de-watering will start in December, hopefully. hopefully earlier than that. So monies that would have been spent out of TIF as a backup for that project will be bumped from 25 into 26. We're just not going to get to it till towards.
I have a question on the sheet.
Mhm.
BPT design.
Business Park Trail.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the.
Yeah, okay.
That's where that money comes out of. The other thing that's happening too, is that design was gonna be spread out over a few years for the Business Park Trail because of funding and issues, which don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We have to accelerate our plan, the plans. They need to be done by June of 2026. So that number has increased. I'm glad you brought that up. That number has increased from the last time I presented to you.
And I was just looking at the depot parking lot for 2026, the 750.
Yeah.
And I apologize if I missed this in one of the meetings I didn't attend. What are we doing? Is that a total makeover of that lot?
Yeah, it's for the purchase of the grounds.
Okay.
Is that Pine Falls property?
What am I missing? Okay. And then the park small playground 2025. I know we had discussion on that with,
Yeah.
so did, was it the Lions Club? Did they kick in then, the rest of the money?
I don't know.
I don't know
where they
yet.
are with the
Do you guys know?
crowdfunding.
Yeah, I believe they.
It is under
Lions-
construction,
Yeah,
right?
I think the Lions Club figured something out.
To supplement,
Okay.
Yeah.
to meet the match, we think. So Steve's question,
Yeah.
are we still obligated to
We'll leave
match
it,
that?
yeah,
Do we?
until we get confirmation,
Let's
we'll leave
get
that as a place
clarification.
marker.
Anybody have anything else regarding Scott's information? Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay, now going back to old business, preserving Main Street grant program.
Good evening. So, September 15th, was truly a remarkable day in Pendleton.
It was.
It was. What transpired in only a few weeks leading up into that day, when we heard word from Okra, Indiana Landmarks, Indiana Humanities, that we were named one of the top 2 finalists in the state. And that was probably 5 weeks prior to our presentation. And that 3.5-hour tour that we had with Okra and their team was from start to finish, was the start of a pretty intense interview going into an hour presentation, then followed up by a very intense 30-minute Q&A session that actually expanded into about 55 minutes. And then we had about a 40-minute tour of our community that we took them on. What we learned along the way, the experience that we had went through, and just witnessing everyone coming together. We had an amazing turnout and rally of support of our community members in making that day amazing. Wanted to share a little bit about the day in general, but then I also wanted to share with you just kind of the final project numbers and so forth with you this evening, just to kind of wrap this project up. but the enthusiasm, that passion that was shared by our community members, all of them coming in as advocates behind the town of Pendleton and the Main Street Pendleton, was really a true testament of our community. I think it showcased how special our community is. It showed, that passion and that true investment that each individual, not only the business owners, town leaders, but even our residents came out and poured their heart and soul into that program. And I think we're very, very fortunate to have the community that we have. Just seeing everyone put in their talents and their knowledge and just being able to come in and step up to the plate in their own creative ways and unique talents and abilities, and just being willing to say, what is it that I can do? That day, we had a shared vision, a belief, and that really came through to Okra and their team. And although that outcome, Scott has announced, that we did not get designated as a community for this grant, we feel that what we took away from that grant, what we learned through the process, we're going to be able to continue and to carry that through in other opportunities. And I know your board knows just as much as us as staff is that our community at a pivotal point. We are growing not only residentially, but then commercially, but then we also have the growth that even surrounds our community. And there is, I guess, to me, just more the reason why we need to make sure that we preserve and enhance our downtown as we grow. And opportunities like this is so vital for us to continue to explore. And what we gained coming out of this state program, but it's federal dollars, it was huge. There were so many intricacies, so many requirements a part of this grant, and the knowledge that we're going to be able to take. I know that next week our committee is going to even be meeting with Okra in a debrief session. So what we'll be able to take forward is definitely a win for our community. So just some some facts, highlights that I'd like to share with you. We had actually over 100 individuals that came in and volunteered for that day. That does not include those that came and patroned the restaurants and the stores that are typically not open on Monday. We had probably 10 different restaurants and stores that normally are closed that day that were willing to open up. So then that way our community was full and vital and active that day. And then two, we had over 40 that were participants in the presentation that day. Stephanie, I know we've got some pictures here. I won't show. If you want to go through images from that day on your Teams folder, you can. Oh, Stephanie, you have to go back out. Okay. Sorry. Just going back to the main folder, I just wanted to show here for the here. Click on that 1035. Sure
That's Scott's report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. Day of image. Sorry. So this is kind of huge. And that should pop up.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. So that we were housed there at the Pendleton at the Gallery 119, the Pendleton Art Society worked with us. This was our day of presentation. As you could see, we had a lot of participants, not only in the audience, we had the team there that was interviewing us that day. We had our display boards that showcased not only our improvements that we have had here for our renovations of the downtown businesses through private dollars, through also other historic preservation facade grants through our food and beverage grant through Madison County, but then also our Main Street revitalization program that we participated in 2016 to 2018 period. So we were able to showcase those before and afters to show that we have a good track record, but then also to that commitment to the preservation and the redevelopment of our downtown. But then we also had our panel here that's sitting here of our business owners that participated in a panel and spoke that day. And then to our crew were kind of behind the scenes there as we funneled through. We had also, in addition to the day, we had a homecoming parade presence. We had a float for that. And we also, Stephanie, if you want to go ahead and step out of that, we had a presentation that we put forward. So we had 11 speakers that day, and then the architect packet, and I think that is, yep, there we go. So we had ratio design, and so they spent an intense 2-week period coming in, meeting with 6 of our building owners. These are the 6 buildings that they worked on to create some before and then after renderings. Those renderings also included detailed scope and outline of items that needed to be renovated or preserved to be able to get back to the integrity of their structures. And also to then, if you see, scroll down a little bit farther in the packet, then it itemizes as far as what items need to be done per each project. And then at the very end, keep on going, you'll see, what is envisioned for the renovations. And then there's a cost analysis. So the cost analysis built up to about $1.6 million that were needed just for those 6 buildings. And we have actually about 10 participants that are eager and interested in facade preservation grant opportunities. So these deliverables were things that were huge that we had to have going into this grant presentation, and showing that we were prepared and ready to go if we were designated. But these deliverables are also ready for any food and beverage grants through our Historic Preservation Commission. So these are things that those building owners can take with them, and they can explore other opportunities, as well as we too, as a planning department, we're going to be exploring other opportunities. As well as our next application. This is a 2-year grant opportunity, so we'll be coming up in the fall of 26. We'll start preparation for this. We feel like this, we've got a good jump start on it, but in the spring of 27, we will be reapplying for this grant. We've spoken with a lot of different consultants, representatives in the state. We've heard that sometimes unfortunately it takes a couple times go around to be able to be designated in this type of competitive grant. But for those lessons learned, we also brought out great marketing and branding materials that we're going to be able to continue to use. We worked with a skilled videographer that was able to showcase the spirit of our community, but then also this will be a packet that we're going to be able to continue for our future grant opportunities. And the grant administrator, we had to have a certified grant administrator, and just those connections and relationships that we were able to build, and actually be able to strengthen some of our relationships with our building owners. We've had a building that we were able to work with Mr. Busey out here to the west, and had some great conversations with him, and being able to give him some support that he's needed, here with his building. But that all being said, again, the day was a positive day here for the town, but we could not have done this without the Redevelopment Commission. And I want to speak on behalf of Main Street Pendleton, also here for our town leaders and the planning department. We cannot thank you enough for being able to share this vision with us, to support us in the efforts for this day. This day would not have been possible without having the funds of the TIF funds for the efforts that we had. Stephanie, if you want to step out there and go into the budget. This is definitely a long-term investment in our downtown, and go ahead and give you,
Which one?
I apologize there, Stephanie. Yes, there we go. Here's just the kind of the final expense report. We had, for that day, the architect, that facade restoration packet that I just shared with you, it's cost of $15,000. The grant administrator was a little bit, over $7,200, for his guidance, expertise. He provided a lot of, documentation and information, along the way, in not only working with our, we had to go through an RFP process for the architect and so forth. So he was very hands-on. He was very involved with our community planning sessions and preparation for staff. And then we also had the marketing and branding materials that came out with our videographer. That is listed there as well. And then we had supplies and materials, and those were mainly, as you can see, everyone was out in Pendleton Green, sharing those t-shirts the day of, as well as event signage, those display boards. We also had signage throughout the downtown Pendleton as well. We had some welcoming banners and so forth that were needed to kind of enhance the day there. So the total budget was right around, I think it was 41,500 when I came here in presentation last month. So it came in a little bit short of that. So just wanted to give you kind of a summary of that day. And again, just want to thank you again for your support throughout it all. So I'm really looking forward as staff, again, to be exploring other opportunities like this. There could be some smaller scale opportunities that we would like to look into in the next year before this other opportunity through Oprah comes back around. But I also too really appreciate your openness to activating that revolving loan fund. I would really like to explore some ways in which that we can exercise that program. I think it would be huge for this committee. And so here in 2026, I would like to be able to work with town leadership to be able to see how we can start having that program made available through the RDC. Does anyone have any questions or anything that and follow up?
Okay, I have follow-up.
Okay, yes.
Denise, thank you. To have experienced that day,
Oh, I know.
I'll look out there. To have experienced that day was to experience the energy and the passion that happened the day after the tornado in this town. And to see the hope and the enthusiasm of those 100 plus people that were involved was magical. And I want to go on record to say that the leaders of this town drove that process. You, Marissa, Connor, and all of the town employees that put their heart and soul into making this town look good, almost perfect, after having to deal with Fall Festival, Heritage Fair, Homecoming Parade, and a whole next week's worth of cleaning up the town. And they were above and beyond. All of you were. So with that, I really want to challenge this commission to continue to carry that and lead that energy and that passion, and to perhaps take some risks, or at least be a little more proactive in using some of these tools. Of that 41,000, only about 2,000 of that were what you would consider consumables. The rest of that is a product, a guidebook, and a lot of education that can be carried forward to do some projects that can be perhaps smaller and quicker, but noticeable. And I think that will go a really long way to honor all of the work of the 100 plus people that spent the day and the weeks leading up to that, to show how much they love Pendleton. And if anything, we lost it because we love Pendleton too much.
Yeah.
And I think we learned that too. But that's nothing to be ashamed of. So I want to congratulate you and your team, and I want to challenge this commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. It was a true honor to be a part of that project. And we gained so much out of that day. And I know that even as staff, even just the knowledge gained, the relationships and those bonds that were, even strengthened. And, and just seeing everyone, it was a great angle for me to be able to see everyone and everything just come together. And you said it so perfectly. It really, truly was a magical experience. And I think that the momentum that we're going to carry on and carry with us going forward, we're going to keep building upon that. And we want those themes and those messages to live, in our social media and in, how we, portray our community, because we have a absolutely beautiful community. And I think that Okra and their team really, enjoyed what they saw. And I think that, we couldn't have done that without everyone coming together. It was truly a community project. And it was exactly what I would say, it really reminded me of how everyone rallied together with that tornado. And they all came together because we love Pendleton so much. We love to live here. We love to work here. And I think we are, we're putting our name out there. I think it's important that we keep those relationships going strong, and not just within our community. The community partnership was huge in this, but regionally, we had individuals from the county coming, state coming to say, we are here for you. We're rooting you on. We had other communities that were putting, this project and this program on their Facebook and being advocates for us as well. And we want to reciprocate that back too. So there's a lot of other things that came out of this project that isn't going to be seen in those dollars or that budget. And so, yes, I agree 100%. And thank you for your kind words. I appreciate that. The only thing I kind of wanted to add to it, I just wanted to announce to your body so you hear it. We did get confirmation today that our community has been designated as a downtown DORA district. So we got notification early this week, but it wasn't quite clear that it is official and final and complete. And so we got the green light today that we were ready to go. So we're going to be working on a press release, because according to our ordinance, we need to issue a public notice for that to go live. So that will be coming out next week. And so we're going to look at October the 17th will be our first day that we will be live going in the Dora downtown district. So we're very excited about that. That's something that we're going to continue to kind of build and grow. And I think it's going to be a huge movement, for our downtown. I think that what we have going on here on kind of that northeast corner of Pendleton and State Street is amazing. You come out here at work and it is alive there. And we're looking forward to continuing to expand that into all areas of our downtown. So all the way to Main, to Broadway, and then down to Elm, there on North or South Pendleton Avenue and up to Water. So just look forward to being able to share that with the community and get that going. So, okay, I'm going to quit rambling, and I appreciate your time and all your support as always. So,
Thank you, Denise.
thanks.
All right, moving on to public comments. Any public comments? Anybody online? Okay, with no public comments and nobody online, then, I'll, adjourn the meeting.